It was 40 years ago this week that the world's shortest baseball bus excursion took place right here from DeFazio Stadium Grill across the street to Sal Maglie Stadium to dedicate the stadium to Niagara Falls' most famous Major League Baseball player, Sal the Barber Maglie. It was the world's shortest baseball bus excursion. That trip made it on ESPN, introduced by Chris Berman nonetheless. And that was a big part of how I got my career started over at WKBW-TV. And more importantly, the stadium still bears the name of Sal Maglie. Tonight, we are reenacting, 40 years later, a rededication of the most famous baseball player in Niagara Falls history and the stadium that bears his name. Ron, it was 40 years ago that the world's shortest baseball bus excursion left your bar, went across the street with Sal Maglie, and made it to ESPN Sports.
I remember that very well. I remember that you sent it to Chris Berman, and when he ran it, we all watched it, and we couldn't believe that we got that kind of exposure. It was really neat. Long overdue.
You know, we're here at the world-famous Stadium Grill, which is also another one of those iconic places in the city. But what's going to be most fun tonight is going into the stadium to see the renovations and to once again, you know, commit this grand ballpark to one of the greats, Sal Maglie.
Danny, 40 years ago, you were a councilman for the city of Niagara Falls, and you were there that night with Sal Maglie.
Sal, I'll never forget it. Sal was so thrilled to have the stadium named after him. Just a wonderful man, and couldn't be any better for the city of Niagara Falls, any better representative than Sal Maglie.
Us being his family, we always looked at him as a person rather than a celebrity. And he always looked at himself as a person rather than a celebrity. And I think that everybody that knew him knew that.
So you have to be proud that this stadium still bears his name.
It's one of the great things that Niagara Falls has done for my uncle in recognition of his accomplishments as a professional ball player and as a person.
This guy knows what he's doing. What's your name? Al. Let's hear it for Al. He's got it. He knows what he's doing. Al's a good driver. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. 40 years ago, this beautiful field was dedicated in honor of Niagara Falls' most famous Major League Baseball player, Sal Maglie. We're here tonight to reenact that. Turn it over to His Honor, Mayor Robert Restaino.
Thank you, Bob. Now, I wasn't here 40 years ago when they did this, but I can tell you we have committed to improving this facility so that if Sal was here today, he'd be very proud of what this field looks like. I can tell you that rededicating this stadium to Sal Maglie is probably one of the most satisfying things I'll get to do in this term. Sal has been one of the favorite sons of Niagara Falls. His story is absolutely incredible, where he comes from and how hard he worked. Those of you that have never had the opportunity to read the story of Sal Maglie, one of the guys who came right from Niagara Falls and never forgot Niagara Falls, is the kind of story that will be uplifting to each and every one of you. Now, not only are we here to once again dedicate this field to Sal, we also have the pleasure of having some of Sal's relatives with us here as well. We're joined by Sal Maglie's nephew, Frank Grenga, his niece, Maria Rizzo, sorry there, I should know better. Great nephew, Frank Grenga Jr., and great nephew, Joey Rizzo. It's really special to have some of the family with us as well, because you could see over the course of all this time, the entire family continues to be committed to the city of Niagara Falls, and I'm proud to be able to have all of them here tonight on this newly renovated field to once again commit this stadium to one of our best, Sal Maglie. Thank you all.
Well done, Papa.
Tell us why you had this mural done on your building.
Oh, I wanted to do the mural for a long time, and when I found out that this Alley Price was right around the corner here in Grand Island, I contacted her and ran it by her. And she's 26 years old. She didn't even know who Sal Maglie was, and she did her research. And 5 days later, this is what she came up with, and I mean, she just did a fantastic job.
So tonight, 40 years later, we don't have some of the faces we had 40 years ago, but it's great to redo this.
Yeah, for sure. We lost a lot of old timers, a lot of people that knew Sal well, but a lot of the guys that come in the bar still they know who he was and what he did, and they appreciate the mural.
We can do this in another 40 years?
If I'm around, we'll do it again.